What's up, and welcome back to Sicum Reviews. This video is not going to be an entire album review, but rather just a few song recommendations from recent music and albums released in the past year. The first on my list of recommendations is an entire album by Superchunk called Majesty Shredding. I stumbled across this album by accident, and it turns out that it's received several excellent reviews from critics, as well as being on the top 30 albums of 2010 by the Rolling Stone magazine. The album is great to listen to all the way through. It has a 90s indie punk rock vibe, which is completely logical since they formed in 1989 and developed their style all throughout the 90s. And since this is the first time I'm hearing from Superchunk, I'm excited to go back through their past 8 albums and hear what will obviously be great music, since they must have done something right to last over 20 years in the music industry. Second on my list is a song that was released this year by one of my favorite bands, Ubiquitous Synergy Seeker. It was first played on 102.1 The Edge and caught me by surprise because I had been following every little bit of news on their upcoming album and had heard nothing of this song. It's called N.A.O.K., and if you give it a listen, you'll find it is quite a relaxing song. It is very laid back and chill, and it gives me high hopes for the rest of their album. I'm quite excited. I definitely recommend having a listen, and if you have time, check out USS at Canadian Music Week in Toronto. It's been my experience that they consistently put on crazy shows. I really wish I could be there. For fans of the Gorillaz, I recommend checking out the album The Fall. I didn't really have any favorite songs off of it, but it was very interesting. For those of you who haven't heard about it, it was recorded on Damon Albarn's iPad, and it uses a lot of unique sounds. One really interesting one I heard was the sound that you hear from speakers around wireless signals from cell phones and radios. It was quite a unique and experimental album, something only the Gorillaz could produce. Another song I discovered last year was Deja Vu by Small Sins. I actually heard about it in a pre-show at a theater, and I really just fell in love with the guitar riff and have been listening to it ever since. You should check it out, it's pretty good. The only thing that disappointed me was Chaos's performance, which was subpar compared to his usual style. There's been a couple songs I've been listening to a lot recently just in anticipation of the band's upcoming albums. The first was The Stand by Mother Mother. It's the first I've heard from them since Body of Years. They kinda seemed to disappear for a while. The second song was sent to me by my friend. It's called Over and Under by Egypt Central. I was truly impressed by this song. Fans of the rock and metal genres will really enjoy it. They're the first heavy rock band I've heard of in recent years that are just being discovered and showing great promise, but don't really fit in the pop genre. A lot of emerging acts in recent years have really been pop superstars, pop idols, that kind of stuff. And it's really refreshing to see this type of band receive some success, and I really hope they do well. The last recommendation I have for this video is The Funeral by Band of Horses. First came out 5 years ago and I hadn't heard it in some time. But when I heard it again in the 127 Hours trailer, It really got stuck in my head, and I've been listening to it non-stop recently. It's a really good song, but if you're not a big fan of it, the Kid Cudi song, The Prayer, which samples the tune from it, it's also a great song. That's all the recommendations I have for now. You can find links to most of the songs I talked about in the description. And be sure to let me know in the comments if you like these short song recommendations or prefer full album reviews.
Plain Pat, what up?
My heart thump, not from being nervous sometimes. I'm thinking God made me special here on purpose. So all the while till I'm gone, make my words important. So if I slip away, if I die today, the last thing you remember won't be about some apple bottom jeans with the boots, with the fur. Baby, how I dream of being free since my birth. Cursed, but the demons I confronted with the spurs. Have you ever heard of some shit so real? Beyond from the heart, from the soul, you can feel.